Hello, Grandarizing. Okay, so I just would like to talk about this book, Know Your Rights, Stop Paying Fines, Fees, Taxes, Gain, Freedom, Power, Control. It's a really good book. I have it for a long time. As you can see, it's a little bit falling apart now. And table contents. So now there is talking about the fines and tax. You can see about tax, including the fact that voluntary, the 8 years not illegality, and detail. Then you got the banking, the Commonwealth Constitution, the local governments, law and legal. Then it goes into the strawman, financial protection, then the bonus chapter. Now I specifically gonna go to the local governments, okay, because that's my page 42. Okay, and page 42, especially when it talks about the referendum, because here we go. So yeah, now it's talking about the referendum and how it actually wasn't carried out. I had one council, I think it was in Western Australia, they're saying that you don't need referendum. What a bunch of rubbish. What a perjury, what a lie, yeah? To alter the constitution, recognized law. Do you approve this proposal alteration? Here we go, not carried. That, don't worry about that, because 1988, the first was Victoria in 1989, which was only 1 year after 1988. Okay, now this is, you can find it on the website as well. So in 1988, the Commonwealth government proposed a law to alter the Commonwealth Constitution to recognize local councils as a local government. Question 3 of that 1988 referendum was worded as follows. So the Australian Constitution recognized government at federal and state levels but make no mention of local government. Constitution alteration 1988 proposed to alter Constitution so as to recognize local government. It was a big no. It wasn't carried out. Well, don't worry about it, because State of Victoria Corporation actually introduced the local governments. Okay, so I just wanted to show you this page about the local government. You can actually find it anyway in if you actually go to check out the referendum, you can find this one there as well. So here you go. As a result of the will of the people being clearly expressed in their response to that question, the federal government had responsibility to ensure that local councils were not recognized and or given authority to act as a de facto third tier of government. Okay, so you know how we're talking about there is a de facto Australian government as of 14th of February 1966, and you can see that here, de facto tier of government. Okay, however, the states soon started bringing various local government acts. It's all unlawful. All the acts are unlawful, and every single state are posted up, and I'm gonna post under this as well when I talk about how the council is basically unlawful in every single state. Okay, and it talks about as well malfeasance, how they're sitting in malfeasance, or third tier government, and which was only after 1980. Once that act unlawful passed by the Victorian Parliament, the other states quickly followed. So the local councils are unlawful, and I don't care what you say. I know there is a couple of you guys out there so-called saying that it's not true. Okay, do your research. Okay, watch this referendum. What is this? Okay, but that doesn't matter, because they go ahead and they just do the ship show, yeah, because they're running under the maritime law and they're running the ship show, yeah, because they are all in the ship. And here you go, reference justice and statement. Any pretend law made in excess of power is not and never has been a law at all. Accordingly, unless the state can prove their authority to enact the various local government acts, then they are invalid. Justice, let them say it. Anybody in the country is trying to disregard them. Yeah? Now, New South Wales. State of New South Wales Corporation, yeah, operating as a New South Wales Treasury Corporation and the Crowning Right New South Wales, or Attorney General of New South Wales is Michael Daly. You would not believe it, in the last 3 years I'm asking for the royal assent of the Local Government Act 1993. Yeah? You know what, they're coming back, and I'm going to post everything because I got a lot of stuff. They're sending me how they do this, the assent. Yeah? I'm asking for the royal assent, the certificate of proclamation, and the certified copy of the certificate of authenticity. Yeah? Now, not to mention, of course, because, everything is just a big collusion, right? So the Attorney General of New South Wales, Michael Daly, got a legal representative which is Chris Das, who is actually the director of the law courts, right? Is that breach of fiduciary duty? I'm just asking. Now, does Michael Daly breaching his fiduciary duty, not providing the royal assent and not giving clear a yes or no? It's either the royal assent exists or the royal assent doesn't, right? So, yeah, I'm sitting in malfeasance in office as well, because numerous times I ask, and you can see the collusion, and how they're backing up each other. So, the local government acts all around the states, Western Australia, South Australia, New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland, all corporations, blah, blah, blah. They do not have the royal assent. Okay, they cannot produce the royal assent, full stop. Instead, they're playing the games, we do the assent, blah, 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 blah. Yeah? Ship show or circus, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know, okay, so I don't care, anyone comes that the councils are actually valid. No, they're sitting in fraud, corruption and deception, okay, and they are never been approved as a third tier government, okay, and I do have some documents that they're sponsored by United Nations anyway as well. So this is clear evidence. Here we go, it's here, you can see it, it never got approved, okay, full stop, okay, the evidence is there, the referendum is there, okay, if you don't believe me, please do your research, it's here, okay, and yes, they need a referendum, okay, because we the people, right? Someone told me, it was one of the politicians, they don't need referendum, and I said, what are you talking about? We the people. Yeah. Now the constitution was done for the people to keep the government on track, to make sure the government complies, to do their job under fiduciary duty and fiduciary responsibility, and make sure that they're not going to sit in malfeasance. Because if they're sitting in malfeasance, obviously we know then they are breaching. You can put the 135 points on the bad grievance, right? I'll share that with my another letter. I'm going to upload it here as well. Okay, so here we go. Local councils are basically never been approved by we the people under the Constitution Act, Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1900, Section 128. We the people needed the referendum, just like how they introduced the de facto governmental agency on 14 of February 1966 without people's referendum. Then they introduced the Australian decimal currency in 14 of February 1966 without people's referendum. Then they introduced the metric measurements without people's referendum. Then they bring in Queen of Australia without people's referendum. Treason on the highest level, Federal Crimes Act 1914, Section 24AA. Okay, treason. Anyone who is supporting these fraudulent councils, okay, and they're telling the councils are valid, you are sitting in treason on the highest level, using the private seal fraud as well, forgery, etc. Private seal fraud as well, and etc. So, and you're sitting on treason. Okay, anyone who's using the private seal, you're sitting on treason. Again, I cannot say that enough. Okay, and all the councils, they are all sitting in treason. Federal Crimes Act 1914, Section 24AA. Just remember what was the punishment back in that days for treason. Okay, treason on the highest level. Courts are sitting in treason. Okay, unless they go under equity jurisdiction, because otherwise they will probate fraud. And as well, we don't have the Chapter 3 of the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1900 courts. We do not have in this country Chapter 3 of the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1900 courts. Okay, I cannot say that enough. Okay, so local councils are null and void, sitting in treason, and they are unlawful. All right, so here we go. There is the referendum. Okay, ask all the politicians, whatever they are, they're calling that so-called politicians, ask them, produce that royal assent. Where is that royal assent? Where is the bill of sale that they bought the land? They are not owning the land. The council does not own the land. It belongs to God and belongs to the people. Does not belong to the de facto so-called Australian government, or whatever you want to call it. Right? If they're claiming, that's treason and that's fraud and whatever you want to call it. But their councils, they're all sitting in treason on the highest level. I got absolutely beautiful document about treason. I even got the treason by Treasury, written by Dick Yardley and I think that's a 550 pages. I do have heaps of documents about treason. Most of them are uploaded in the Anti-Corruption Academy group, Facebook group, Anti-Corruption Academy Facebook group, and it's up on my Telegram channel as well. Okay, so councils are unlawful and they're sitting in treason. All the councils are sitting in treason. All of them. Yeah. Well, they're not abiding, that's right, they're not abiding, and they are using their own constitution, which is the private. That's treason again. Treason. Okay, they're using the fraudulent seal, 1973, the Queen of Australia. That's again, it's a fraudulent seal. Okay, so this is what they're doing. Okay, and the election is a selection. We don't have proper election. We don't have the proper writs. So I'm gonna have a chat about that one as well. Then there is another document which I'm gonna come out, and I'm gonna have a live as well. But again, councils are sitting in treason. I cannot say that enough. The councils are sitting in treason. Okay, and they never been lawfully elected. Never. They ask them where is the royal assent for the local government act, whatever state you are. They cannot produce it because they're sitting in treason. Referendum never was carried out. You can see clearly what's happened in 1989. Who was the first one? Victoria. Okay, so councils are sitting in fraud, corruption, deception as well. They are sitting in treason on the highest level. Anyone in court who support this, you're sitting in treason. Okay, and that's including basically Emma Kerr, Michael MC Teague, and so on, okay, who are sitting in treason, plus not disclosing the conflict of interest. Okay, a lot of public servants, they got conflict of interest. Okay, as I've been doing a lot of research lately, I can tell you that they got so much conflict of interest. They're bridging their fiduciary duty and they're bridging their fiduciary responsibility and sitting in malfeasance, including the bar grievance. Okay, full stop. Councils are unlawful. Produce the royal assent and produce that the referendum was successful. You cannot lie on that one. Send it to all politicians. Send this referendum. Send it to all the councils. Send it and ask what's happened. What did you do? Where is the full disclosure? Where is the full disclosure? Yeah, so councils are not just sitting in treason. They're sitting in malfeasance in office. And there's the 135 points of the bar grievance. I'm sure that more than half of it is going to apply to them. Okay, and that's what it is. Yes, they're not keeping it, but that's all right. Remember, judgment day will come. Jehovah is the best judge in this world. Okay, no one is above him. All right, fear God, forget about the rest. Okay, so because for the end of the day, main thing is cause no harm, loss or damage. Cause no harm, loss or damage. If you cause any harm, loss or damage to your brother or sister, make sure that you are going to provide remedy. This is common sense and logical, right? And again, I cannot say that enough. Local councils are invalid, null and void, and they're using the pretended law. Even Justice Ladham's statement, accordingly, unless the state can prove their authority to enact various local government acts, then they are invalid. Justice, under penalty of perjury, provide me material evidence that local government acts are valid, and anybody in the country is entitled to disregard it. And again, you need the numbers. Anything you do, you need the numbers. You know, working as a community, standing as a community, it is very important. Stand up and support each other. Okay, support each other, working a community, back up each other. Put these guys on notice. Okay, because every single public servant, even if they're operating in a local government, they got a fiduciary duty. Get the money from their state. Everything is already paid. Everything. Use the House Joint Resolution 192. Which was done in 5th of June 1933. Okay, all the debts are prepaid. All the debts are prepaid. Okay, now I don't care what people say. Okay, go and do your research. What's happened in 1933? Transfer and Securities Act 1934. I know it's coming from America. We are registered in America. Okay, so if you come to me and say that we cannot use it, bullshit. All right, we are registered in America. New South Wales Treasury Corporation and the Crown and Right of New South Wales, they're registered in America. Okay, they got CIK number, same Victoria Treasury Corporation, the Queensland Treasury Corporation. Look it up, the CIK numbers in the Securities Exchange website. It's all there, black and white. Okay, just have to do some little research. All right, And the Australian government is registered in America as well with CIK number 0000805157. Full stop. All right. You don't have to be a rocket science to work it out. Okay, it's pretty common sense and logical. All right. Again, councils, and they all registered to the de facto governmental agency. Where is the contract? You're dealing with the de facto governmental agency. De facto. Where's the contract? If they're claiming to be public servants, they got a fiduciary duty to uphold, and they're supposed to disclose their conflict of interest under fiduciary duty. Right? Absolutely makes sense. I'm okay. When you actually deny that, you are not under fiduciary duty. Here we go. So you're working as a strata lawyer, huge conflict of interest, mate, you know, and the SCA, the Strata Association as well, man, you can make that crap up. Being part of the Strata Association, sorry, which I posted up yesterday. So everything does make sense now, what they have done with me last year in the courts, in that fraudulent courts, in the kangaroo courts, the two lovely public servants, okay, but don't worry, judgment day will come to you as well, guys, not to worry about that, okay. And judgment will be served on all of you because you're sitting in treason on the highest level. My treason on the highest level, that's including the lawyers who were participating in this fraudulent, this constructive fraud, and including the Strata Corporation as well. Okay, there will be more details are going to come out, how much collusion, corruption, fraud, deception is going on in this industry. Okay, and end of the day, thank you so much for teaching me and learning how much corruption, fraud and deception is going on in the local court of New South Wales. I never thought that is that bad, and how much collusion and corruption, and they bridging their fiduciary duty big time. But yeah, here we go, supporting the fraud and the treason, the so-called local court of New South Wales. Okay, specifically Sydney Civil Registry, to your lovely public servant Emma Keir and Michael MCTG. Yeah, so well done, but it's bridging your fiduciary duty because you got huge conflict of interest, okay? So, and you're not disclosing it, you know, no full disclosure, you're sitting in malfeasance in office, and the 135 points from that, there's a lot of them actually apply to you guys. So at the moment, I leave it up to you to choose, you know, in Michael MCT not providing his public bond, you know, and doing as usual, business as usual, and causing harm, loss and damage, you know, and ignoring what you're saying and striking out paperwork because that's how it fits in the agenda, by perverting the course of justice and by violation of due process, you know, and invading privacy and sitting in malfeasance and breach of trust law and personage and barratry, because that's what they do, that's what they have done. Emma Keir and Michael MCT and the lawyers as well, okay, two lawyers from Tasmania who don't even have the law practicing certificate in New South Wales, okay. Tasmania Legal Practitioner Board is still doing some investigation. Let's see how long that one's gonna last. And the Law Society of New South Wales, Samantha Gulliver, yeah, another government legal practitioner. Very interesting, guys, very interesting, you know. God is great, and when you pray, you get the answers. I'm telling you, when you pray, you get the answers, and all these people gonna be exposed, because if you are a public servant, you are under fiduciary duty, okay? And as I had someone from the New South Wales government told me, keep going and doing the fiduciary duty letters, because they are crucial and important. The New South Wales government inside, there's a lot of corruptions going on. They need the fiduciary duty letter, okay? And that was coming from inside what I am saying, all right? Even ICAC apparently, as I've been told, they're stopping cases and they're not doing the investigation. Again, that's a huge fiduciary duty breach. New South Wales Ombudsman, I don't know what you're doing. There is some issues with your fiduciary duty as well, okay? So it's all good, guys, you know. The time is coming, the day will come, judgment day will come, okay? And you will be all accountable what you have done, okay? Because that was treason on the highest level, supporting the treason. And there's the council, including the strata, including the lawyers, including the public servants who participated in this case. Not to mention, I know there is some people behind of this, but that's okay. It's all good. Time will come. Just remember, and everyone will be judged by Jehovah, by God, not by me. God and Jehovah is the best judge. And guess what? He sees everything. He sees everything. And remember the Sodom and Gomorrah as well. you know, and going back to the flooding as well back in Abraham times. So anyway, just food for thoughts. I just wanted to share, like, you know, councils are sitting in treason. All the councils sitting in treason. Okay, love and light. Have a beautiful day. It is weekend. It is Saturday. It's nice and beautiful weather. Yeah, I just wanted to say hello and just share the councils, the lawful councils who are sitting in treason. All right, love and light. Have a beautiful day and namaste.